I'm going to go over why OpenSea is about to get overrun next. That article, an article of which we're able to mint airplane tickets through NFTs by this particular blockchain. I'm going to go over that as well, all today on OG Crypto and NFTs. Welcome, everyone. My name is Troy, and every day we go over, at least Monday through Friday, non-fungible tokens, NFTs, cryptocurrencies, and blockchain technology. Now, before we jump into it, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Boom, boom, boom. Right there, right there. All right, let's jump right into it. All I know is every time I list my NFTs on OpenSea, I just get upset. Why? I buy the NFT, I'm holding it, and then I turn around and I have to pay, number one, gas fees, right, to list. Then there's a creator fee, which is usually up anywhere from 5 to 7%, 7.5%. And then you have OpenSea and their fees. Dude, this is getting ridiculous. I'm getting feed to death. I got probably 12% to 15% of it all just getting out there on fees. It's all bullshit. And we're tired of it. I'm tired of Ethereum, guys. I don't know about everyone out there. Everyone's all excited about Ethereum. If you really look at Ethereum, there's so many superior networks and blockchains better than Ethereum. It just isn't there. Let's go over it. Ethereum 2.0 was done, what? They did it last August, September. It was 3 years behind its original launch. They are so far behind, Ethereum is right now, but you have most influencers pumping it all the time. Ethereum, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Why? It was one of the first decentral finances out there. And of course, Bitcoin was the first, cryptocurrency out there, period. So with that being said, we're just seeing OpenSea just kill us. So now I love to see this headline, the Blur marketplace overtakes OpenSea as top platform. Now let's go to the next one, because what OpenSea is doing is they're trying to combat me and everyone else in this NFT realm complaining about their fees. So now, just like with Coinbase, our fees aren't very much if you go to our Pro version. Well, your Pro version is a monthly fee, right? Which is ridiculous. If you go to Coinbase, it costs you $30 a month. Here, OpenSea now has a Pro version for Pro users have zero fees. Well, no, there is a fee to get on it. That's why there's an issue. So it doesn't matter what you're looking at. You're just being feed, and it's so tiring, especially if you're in the NFT. It just seems like at this point, there is no reason to hold, community NFTs unless you're completely in the community, because if you try to sell it, it just becomes a complete nightmare. It's a complete nightmare. All right, next. This is interesting. There's been a lot of talk about billionaires and, all the crazy crimes that's gone on. Cash App creator dies following stabbing in San Francisco. Bob Lee, the creator of Cash App and former technology chief at Square. Okay, we know Square, the Twitter founder went to Square, right? Started Square, has died after unknown attacker stabbed him. Well, all I know is you shouldn't be there in the first place. Anyone that's looking at San Francisco, it is an absolute dumpster fire train wreck. The local, municipalities out there, the government has just let that thing go. I mean, you can go all the way back to Kamala Harris, that she was there, and part of that whole train wreck. That's where it began. Well, that's where it's at now. I wouldn't live there. I wouldn't buy anything there. It's just a huge dumpster fire. If you look at anyone that talks about the state of California, they go after two things: the city of San Francisco and the worst governor of all, Gavin Newsom. So sorry to hear that this is happening. Technology companies need to get out of San Francisco. I know they talk about it being kind of the tech capital right there, because you have Silicon Valley, but Silicon Valley, with their funding and their loss of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank, all these banks that funded all these startups, they are disappearing. They're going to disappear. They're going to run out of liquidity. There's no money out there to fund them, to give them the funny money to keep their dreams alive. We want to see we want to see companies that have to have a profit immediately. We don't want to see companies that are just going to rely on professional, raisers of money. Next, Fed liquidity injections drive U.S. Treasury yields, but not Bitcoin price. Guys, this is just, you're talking about the Fed trying to control everything, and part of their control is Bitcoin. And we know for a fact that not only does the Fed not like Bitcoin, but so does Gary Gensler's the only one that seems to think it's worth anything. The federal government has moved about 50,000 Bitcoin from one of their seizures over. They've sold 9,000, and so they're going to sell the remaining 40,000, the rest of this year. So they're going to be dumping Bitcoin on the market. Some of the reasons why I'm not that excited about Bitcoin, and about all this going on, because of everything that's going on around Bitcoin, that it's a very manipulated asset, as well as there's not much of it out there. So it just takes a whale to go ahead and move the dial one way or the next. And we definitely feel that the Bitcoin price has been manipulated by exchanges, by major institutions, and by whales. All right, and last here is the NFT airline tickets. I know I started off with this. Airline tickets are beginning to take off, and you now receive NFTs, and the version here is on Algorand. The Algorand says, so customers of Buenos Aires-based Flight Bonded now have an option to activate NFT versions of their tickets via tech that uses Algorand. Guys, Algo had a little bump today up. We're excited to see it because it hasn't had that much action now for a while, but we're starting to see, Algorand, HBAR, these are utility tokens. I mean, XDC, Casper, XRP, they are now getting real world use now. They're not getting the hype because a lot of influencers don't want to talk about them because either they don't get paid to do it or it's not their buddy's project, right? But these projects, if you look at utility tokens, Algorand is definitely one of them, one of the top 10, and they are out there and they are working on real utility. If I can get it as an NFT, now I can put it in my digital wallet, which everyone's going to own a digital wallet, the unbanked, right? And almost everyone has a cell phone, but not everyone has a bank account. And with that, the unbanked can now be banked by this cell phone right here in digital wallets through cryptocurrencies and through blockchain technology. So, well, guys, thank you very much for joining us today. We are having a fun-filled packed week here. We will see you tomorrow. Peace.